I mean, the Hawza is not there to necessarily create, people of a certain, to fit a particular mold. It gives you the universal teachings, the universals which you need to do your own independent research and study. There will be areas where, you may have 50 scholars who will graduate. They'll all have a similar opinion on a particular area. But then there will always be, differences of opinion, whether that be in history. You may have a scholar who will come, and in the month of Muharram, as we always, these kind of discussions begin to ensue, that a scholar will mention something on the mimbar in Muharram, and it may be complete blasphemy for half of the audience. But we have to appreciate the fact that in terms of scholarship, there is a wide variety. There is a room for opinion in terms of history, in terms of some aspects of theology, in terms of ahkam, jurisprudence. I mean, even our maraja today, if you look at, I would say maybe the 20 to 30 maraja taqleed between Iran and Iraq, and maybe even other parts of the Middle East, you may find, that they have a completely radical difference of opinion amongst one another, right? And it doesn't mean that they're teaching or preaching a deviant or a variant of Islam. It just means that their rigorous scholarship has got them to a level where, they don't agree with the fatwa of another mujtahid. Right. So I think we have to appreciate the nuances in that. And, maybe the whole fact of the 12th Imam being in occultation means that we have this difference of opinion. I'm sure at the time of the Prophet, him being there physically in Medina to guide, there would not have been differences. I mean, you had still people who had their own opinions, the companions who had different opinions on things, but the message was one and the same from the Prophet, right? And I think that our community needs to realize that, again, the Hawza is not just there to churn out just carbon copies of the past. We're moving forward. There is, I think our intellects are evolving. Research is getting more in depth. And I think as that happens, people will begin to critically analyze the texts in all the fields of Islamic studies. And we may come up with things which 20 years ago were unheard of on the mimbar. It doesn't make that scholar a deviant or his ideas are becoming too liberal or Western. As long as that male or female scholar are using the right tools to come to their conclusion, and if need be, if they need to prove their methodology, then I think we have to be able to accept and embrace that there can be a variety of opinions. And, we don't just label a person as a deviant or an agent for a particular government or an agency. That, there is room for divergence of opinion. Our Maraja have celebrated that for 1,000 years. They've politely disagreed with one another. You'll have, Ayatollah X say this is wajib. Other one will say this is haram, let's say. And they get along together, right? So I think at a level as our community, we have to realize and grow as well and mature that the Hawza is not stagnant, and a scholar that's stagnant and has the same views, either they're very good in their research or they just want to, kind of parrot and mimic what they've been saying for generations, for whatever reason that they do that.